All right, Thursday, May 22nd. This is the Lion Channel. I'm John. Day 21 of my manifesting journey. I have about 80 minutes, 81 minutes, but who's counting until I can eat. I may go probably, I think I'm going to go a minute after 6:30. I think I'm going to go to 6:31 and make it like one of those slam dunks where you hang on the rim for a little extra oomph. All right, but it has been pretty easy, I have to say, aside from what I talked about yesterday and then last night. All right, but last night showed me actually why I was doing this 72-hour fast, because I previously thought before, and this goes to show you that there is no free will, okay? This is something that I thought I was doing to raise my consciousness, all right? So that's why I was motivated to do this. But it turns out that it was just the simulation recreating an experience that I had previously had and showing that to me again. And then it was up to me to respond to that experience differently. Okay, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that was. Last night, I was cruising, okay? I wasn't even thinking about food. I was laying in bed and I was, watching, I normally watch David's videos, some of his videos before I go to sleep, and it, puts me in a sleepy state, and then I go into my wish fulfilled. But last night I was laying in bed and I was doing my little routine, and I could feel my legs starting to potentially like cramp up. They were getting like, if you've ever had that experience, if you've worked out in the past, or if you're an athlete, if you haven't gotten enough nutrients into your muscles, when you lay in bed, your legs will cramp up. And I have woken up in the past because I used to go really hard, like lifting weights, and sometimes I would drink on the weekends, and I was probably dehydrated, and so like sometimes on Friday or Saturday night I would be waking up with Charlie horses. And so I've had a lot of experience, unfortunately, with Charlie horses. But the last time I attempted a 72-hour fast, I didn't make it, and I completely forgot about it until last night. And I'm laying in bed, and I'd finished watching David's videos, and I'm getting into my wish fulfilled, and my legs are almost starting to lock up. Like if I would have made a wrong movement, I would have gotten a Charlie horse. And both of my legs were doing that. They were in that shaky state all the way up my leg. Like I've had Charlie horses in my hamstrings before. So I was at that point, I'm like, oh my God, I remember last time I made it to this point, to the second night, and my legs locked up. And I had Charlie horses all throughout my legs. And it was the middle of the night, and my wife already feels a certain way towards these 72-hour fasts. She thinks I'm crazy. And so I was waking her up, and she had to get up for the work the next day, and I was in pain. She doesn't like to see me in pain. And so I fought through the first batch, but then I laid back down and my legs locked up again. And so we just decided, like, because I was keeping her up, and I didn't know what to do. And so I didn't finish the 72-hour fast. And I told some of my clients that I was doing a 72-hour fast. I told some other people that I knew. And so after I ate, because I had to get some nutrients in me, because that was the solution that we agreed on, it was great to eat. But when I laid down in bed, I was majorly disappointed in myself. And so what I've been talking about on this channel, negative reactions, negative emotion, recreate that experience. And so I was super disappointed in myself, because when I say I'm going to do something, I am normally, especially something like that, I pride myself on being able to do it, because not a lot of people that I've seen can do it. So the fact that I wasn't able to do it, and I told a bunch of people, and now I had to come clean and tell those people that I wasn't able to do it, I was disappointed in myself, and it was very strong negative emotion. And so unbeknownst to me, I was creating that for the future, which was last night. And so once I realized that, and I was like, oh my God, here we go. This is the same situation that I was in last time, and I didn't even remember. It snuck up on me. Until I was laying in bed with those potential Charlie horses, that's what reminded me that I didn't complete the last 72-hour fast that I said I was going to do. And so I was like, all right, I got to look at this a different way now. Because initially, last night, before I realized that, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I don't want these Charlie horses. Charlie horses suck. They're super painful. And so I was like, all right, just relax. It's a simulation, okay? How can I look at this? What's the wisdom I can gain from this? Is there a way that I can look at this that I'm able to prevent these Charlie horses from coming? And the answer came to me, which was to elevate my legs. And so I Googled it, and sure enough, I confirmed it. Elevate your legs, increases blood flow, and you want to put the pillows underneath your calves, and that should prevent Charlie horses from coming in the middle of the night, which is what my major concern was. And so I was able to sleep for like 3 or 4 hours with the pillows under my legs, just laying on my back, because if you lay on your side, they're more likely to come. That's where they've come in the past. So I was a little like it. I didn't want to lay on my side. I didn't want to chance it. And so it got to the point where I couldn't lay on my back anymore with the pillows underneath. So I woke up. I normally get up at 7. I got up at 4, and I went down and I slept on the couch, sitting up for the remaining three hours. All right, so my sleep was a little broken up, and I haven't really gained much consciousness from this, okay, in terms of like why I started this was to raise my levels of consciousness. If anything, okay, it's something that I will never do again, okay? Because I really don't need the physical benefits. My health is great as far as I'm concerned, especially since I started applying the law of assumption, and now the issues that I had previously are basically non-existent. All right, so I will never do this again. But that comes, I bring it back to what I talked about, what I started this with, is there is no free will. There's no free will. You fall asleep your subconscious controls you. Your subconscious controls you. My subconscious made me see this as I was going to raise my levels of consciousness. And maybe I did slightly. I don't know. Maybe I can look at this now and say, I did it again, but I'd already done this. There was no reason to do it again, really, except for the fact that I had recreated it previously. And so now I had to be presented with it again. But now I handled it. And so now it just disappears from my experience. So it was basically a test. But today I had to complete this fast. I wasn't going to just go through that and then come up on this video and say, here's what happened. And so I ate and I didn't complete the 72-hour fast. Once I made it through that, it's like, okay, this is a piece of cake now. So, the point of the whole thing is that the simulation is very tricky, and again, unless you are applying these techniques and thinking about and reminding yourself all the time, it's gonna pull you in. It's gonna pull you in because it's so sneaky. And the last couple of videos I've given you examples of, if I wasn't applying and doing all the stuff that I'm doing and reminding myself over and over again, this is a simulation, it would have caught me a couple times. And I would potentially be in a lower vibration to the point where I wouldn't follow through on these videos, because if you don't follow through once, if you say you're going to do something and you don't follow through on it, then all of a sudden the simulation is going to use that for the next challenging thing and say, well, you caved, you didn't follow through on this, so it's okay not to follow through on this. That's why David talks about it's so important to become non-negotiable with this stuff. So if you're falling asleep and applying the law of assumption and falling asleep and your wish fulfilled, start also applying some of these techniques that I talk about here, and the technique I got them from David, most of these. So yeah, and you got to start applying them because that's what keeps you present, and so you're able to see when the simulation is testing you. So all right, so that's it. Now I have almost an hour, less than an hour until I can eat. Oh man, it's gonna be so good. I love you all. Enjoy your night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.